Alright, this is going to be our first video on graphing lines. It's also referred to as linear equations. And there's going to be a couple methods that we're going to use. This first method we're going to use up here T-charts, aka the XY chart. We've went over basically plotting points in the coordinate plane and the XY coordinate plane. Now we're going to plot some points using an XY chart, and when we connect them, they're going to make a line. The form that we're going to work in is this. This is actually called slope-intercept form, which we'll talk about later in Chapter 4. It's y equals mx plus b. The y is by itself. M and b, these are going to be numbers. You know, could be 1, could be -2, but they're going to be numbers. The only thing that are not going to be numbers are the y and the x. They're going to just stay as y and x because we have two axes when we graph, the x and the y axis. Here's the main point. If we can plug in points, x, y, if we can plug them into this equation, and if I get the same number on the left and the right side, then we say this ordered pair x, y, it's going to lie on the line of the equation. All right. Now, it's a little, I guess you could say, abstract. To kind of make it more concrete, let's put all numbers in this. Let's look at the first example. Okay, the first example, we're given a linear equation, y equals 3x plus 4. This is like saying the m is the 3, the b is the 4. And we're asking ourselves, are the following ordered pairs, are they solutions to the equation? Well, how do we check this? Basically, what we do is, now 1, 7, if we look at the first one for A, 1A, x, or the 1 is x. The 7 is y. I'm going to plug these values into this equation and see if I get the same number on both sides. So let's see here. This x, this 1, I'm going to plug right into here for this x. This 7, I'm going to plug right into here for this y. So when I do this, I'm going to have 7 equals 3 times x. We figured out x is this. It's the 1. So it's 3 times 1 plus 4. So on the right side, 3 times 1 is 3. And 3 plus 4, that does give me 7. So since I get the same number on the left and the right side, I put a little check mark. The answer to this question is yes. This ordered pair, 1, 7, when I graph it, it's going to lie on the line that corresponds to this equation. Okay, let's check B and C. So for B, -2, I'm plugging in for x. 2, I'm plugging in for y. So again, if I use my trusty little arrow here, -2, I'm plugging all the way into this x. 2, I'm going to plug in for this y. So I'm going to have 2 equals 3 times x. X in this case is -2. So I have 3 times -2. And then I make sure I put the plus 4. All right, so you can see basically what I did was this is y. I plugged it in for this y. This was x. I plugged it into this x. I have 3x plus 4, so I still have to have this plus 4. All right, let's see if I get the same number on each side. So I'm going to have 2 equals 3 times -2 is -6 plus 4. Well, -6 plus 4 is -2. This does not work. I have different numbers. I'm going to say this does not equal. So my answer to this is no. This is not a solution to the equation. So therefore, that point, -2, 2, is not going to lie on the line. Okay, let's check out C. 0, 4. So 4, we're plugging in for y. Then we have 3 times x, which is 3 times 0. And then I put this plus 4. Make sure to put this. Sometimes students forget that. Put that plus 4. So I'm going to have 4 equals, well, 3 times 0 is 0. 0 plus 4 is 4. So this works. I get the same number on the left and the right side. So my answer to this is yes. So 0, 4 is going to lie on the graph of this line. Now when we get to 2, you can see it says graph this line. Well, what I already know is that, let's put this in a different color. Let's put this in green. I know that 1, 7 is yes and 0, 4 is yes. So I'm going to plot these right here. All right, so I'm going to have 1, 7, I have 0, 4. Okay, let's go 0, 4, 1, 2, 3. Here's 0, 4. And 1, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here's 1, 7. All right, I connect those two green dots. It's going to give me the line that corresponds to this equation, y equals 3x plus 4. Okay, I'm going to plug a couple other points. If you look, if I use the arrow, see how, you kind of see how this is what the line's going to look like if you follow the arrow. Now, since this goes up off the chart, I'm going to plug in x values that'll be like down here. So I'm going to plug in, these are all negative values for x. So if I want other points, this is what I'm going to do for 3, find more solutions. I'm going to plug in, let's say, -1. I'm going to plug in -2. You can see I put some space there. Now when I put this in, -1, I'm plugging in for this x. So I'm going to have 3 times -1 plus 4. Okay, and we're just going to evaluate that, and whatever we get for it is going to be our y value. So 3 times -1 is -3, and -3 plus 4 equals 1. So that's my y value. This is my x value. So this ordered pair is -1, 1. So that means that lies on the line. Okay, I'm going to put -2 in. So I'm going to have 3 times, again, this is the x right here. So I'm going to plug -2 in for that. So it's 3 times -2 plus 4. Okay, 3 times -2 is -6. And -6 plus 4 is -2. That's the y value. -2 is the x value. Again, this is like our input-output domain range. So this ordered pair is -2, -2. And now what I'm going to do to kind of prove that this is on the line, I'm going to graph -1, 1, and -2, -2. Let's graph this first one, -1, 1. So -1, 1. Right, if I go to the left, this is -1. I go up 1, that's -1, 1. So this is right here. Okay, then I have this. Okay, -2, -2. So I go to the left 2, and I'm going to go down 2. So there it is. There's the point, which is right here. And you can see how it's in a straight line with the other 2 points. So there's patterns to all these. If you ever make an XY chart and you graph it and it does not make a line, like it's kind of all over the place, then that means you made a mistake somewhere, probably with your XY chart. All right, let's do one more. I think it's on the next page. It's on the next side. We are going to do, let's just do number 4, and then we'll save number 5 for the beginning of class, because there is a, see this? Hold on. Oh, the dreaded fraction. We're going to go over that tomorrow in class. All right. Okay, here we go. So let's do this. Y equals -x plus 6. Let's pick, I'm going to pick a couple values. I'm going to do -1, I'm going to do 0, and then I'm going to do 1. Okay, give you some space to show the work. Now, a little tricky. I have this negative, so I'm going to have negative, but then I'm going to put this -1 in for x, so I'm going to put in another -1 here. So I'm going to have 2 negatives, negative of -1 plus 6. Well, these cancel, it just becomes positive, so it's positive 1 plus 6, which is 7. So this ordered pair here is -1, 7. 0, any equation we have, I would always plug in 0. You're going to see it's very easy. We're going to have -0 plus 6, which equals 6. So this ordered pair is 0, 6. And then I'm going to take the 1, right? I take this 1, I'm going to plug right into here for this x. So that's just going to be negative, and then I plug in the 1, and then it's plus 6. And -1 plus 6, as we know, is 5. So this ordered pair, this is the x1, this is the y value 5, so this is 1, 5. Now, if you look, let's look at this, 7, 6, and 5. There's a pattern to this. We'll probably go over more of this in class. See how these all go down by 1? So the next one's going to be, 4, then 3, then 2. This goes down by 1 because the number before x, or the coefficient for x, is -1. Negative x is the same as saying -1x. That's why it goes down by 1. Like I said, we'll do more of that in class. So let's plot these 3 points right here, and it should make a line. Okay, we got -1, 7. So from the origin, we're going to the left 1 and up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there we are. We're right up here. There's -1, 7. Then we have 0, 6. So I'm just going up 6. Here is 0, 6. Then we have 1, 5. So from the origin, I just go to the right one. I go up 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can see I made a mistake here. Because I know I made a mistake. Because look, if I go up 0, 5, this does not make a line. It doesn't make any sense. So this is good that I did make this mistake. Let's see if I can get rid of this. I can't. All right, I'm going to do this in a different color here. Let's do this. I'm just going to say, all right, we're getting rid of this. This is a mistake. It's good to see mistakes. No one's perfect. Mr. Mel, as you all know, is not perfect. I know, hard to believe. So let's graph this. This is 0, 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 0, 6 is right here. My mistake. Sorry about that. Now 1, 5. I'm going to the right one and up 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is right here. Now that makes a line. I connect it, and here is my line. Here's the other thing. If you look, this line, see how this goes down left to right? The reason it goes down left to right is because of this negative right here. All right, so that's pretty much it. You have y solved for. We're just going to make an XY chart. We're going to plug in nice, easy numbers here, and we're going to get out y values, and then we're going to graph them, connect them, and they should make a line.